Just want to say some stuff about patience because I struggle with it. I don't know if it's something you guys struggle with. I do feel impatient a lot of the time. And this is interesting. This is like a lot of the stuff I do with clients, a lot of the stuff I figure out for myself about myself is kind of, is it this or that? And I think with patience for me, it's kind of some of it's childhood experience or past experience, like trauma, whatever, and some of it is my neurodivergence. And this is the reality of it: is that there's often a couple of things in the mix, and it's just sorting out what we can sort out, really. So for patients, for me, I think um, my parents were disorganized. At least one of them was undiagnosed neurodivergent. The other one definitely had depression. And I was made a lot of empty promises when I was a child. And to be honest, I mean, I think quite a lot of us Gen Xers were maybe parented in that way, is that parents felt it was okay to just say any old stuff to get us to behave in that moment. And then they'd kind of say, no, I didn't mean that. Or in fact, I think they probably invented gaslighting because so many times, I'd say, but you said if I did this, then you'd do that. No, I didn't. Gosh, you're always trying to manipulate things. So I think for a lot of us, just like we used to get spanked, we also got lied to a lot and gaslit. So how fun is that? But therefore, I struggle to trust that something that I've been promised is going to happen. And, I guess in a way, this is the basis of anxiety as well, really. It's very similar. So waiting for something is difficult because I don't have the certainty that it's going to happen. And of course, none of us does, right? But I think just repeated, it's going to be this. No, it's not. You can have this. No, you can't. I've just got some of that I'm still healing, I think. I remember there was a skiing holiday that I'd been promised that I could go on a school skiing trip when I was 11, I think, or 12. And only about a week before my parents changed their minds about it, not because of money or anything, but because my mum just got into her head, I think, about, back in those days, there's no mobile phones or internet or anything. It's like they were very overprotective, kind of nervous parents, I think. And it was like, oh God, she's going to be away for a whole week. What if something happens? And she just got so panicked about it that she said, I'm sorry, you can't go. And I was absolutely devastated because I've been talking about it with my school friends for weeks and things. And oh God, it was awful. And of course, when we're neurodivergent and we have a history of kind of not really feeling like we fit in, this was something I fitted in. I was literally part of the group going to the skiing trip, Anyway, I know that my mum was just doing her best and didn't mean anything by it, but I kind of then created the limiting belief about holidays. Then I would be really impatient around holidays, like when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Because I would be scared that it wouldn't happen, that something would come up at the last minute and I wouldn't get to go. I used to have sort of nightmares about it beforehand, massive anxiety, to the point that, of course, I'd then go on the holiday and then I'd be like burnt out, stressed because when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And I still struggle with it today, patience. And there's something that I've had to be patient around for the last couple of months, and it's a thing that's because it's to do with connection and emotions and stuff. Nothing's written in stone, of course it isn't. So it's been really hard. I've had some dark nights of the soul to kind of just trust the universe that what is meant for me won't pass me by, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's the kind of trauma-wise or past experience-wise why I struggle with patience. Also, the ADHD sort of traits, particularly for me, we kind of perceive time in a different way from neurotypicals. We kind of, there's like now and not now. Now, not now. And this is kind of at the root of quite a lot of our time blindness and things, is that we struggle sometimes to like we can see that there's something ahead, but what I struggle with is the progression of time up until that thing. Like I don't feel that time moving. So either it goes really quickly because I'm hyper focused or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing, oh God, I can't believe or it feels like a watched kettle that never boils. It's like, God, it's still not happening, still not now. And yeah, it's just about kind of managing that as best as possible, really. I think there's always going to be some of that hanging around because it's just the way where our brains are structured, apparently. We just have a slightly different perception of time. So, what are your experiences about patience or impatience? Is it something that you struggle with? I think it affects me. It affects me in relationships sometimes if I've got a chilled out partner or a chilled out friend or whatever, or a chilled out person I'm collaborating with, and they're kind of like, oh, I'll be fine, and I'm very much wanting to get stuff in place now. Let's just get this sorted now, kind of thing. I need a plan. I think part of that's my autism, really, is needing structure. So again, that feeds into the impatience. It's kind of anxiety around. I don't want there to be just something's going to happen at some, we'll just see how we feel stuff. Like, I struggle with that. I kind of want at least a basic structure in place to look ahead to, so that I feel calm, so I know what's coming. So yeah, it's so fun having both ADHD and autism because they both so often want different things. But anyway, yeah. So I think if it does affect me. Because I'm not getting to enjoy my experience of now quite as much. Because when I'm impatient, I'm always wanting to be at the thing that I want. I'm always wanting to be in the future, somewhere forward in time. And that means that I'm not really looking at or experiencing or enjoying my actual life, because we know that the only reality that exists is now. And that actually our life is a series of nows. And so, yeah, it's definitely worth working on. So I'm working on the trauma bit. I've been working on that for a while. Like, I think probably back in 2017 was the first time I was able to just enjoy looking forward to a holiday without stressing about it, and going on the holiday and actually being able to enjoy it. So I've had that for a few years now, and that definitely feels really great. But yeah, I'm still feeling impatience. Or another thing that's feeding into it also is certain times of the month. If I'm near my period, I have zero patience with anyone, anything. And so, yeah, but it's good to have this awareness. It's good to have this awareness of, what am I feeling right now? Okay, I'm feeling impatient. What could be feeding into this? Which bits can I kind of breathe through or remove, or, have another vitamin, or take some space for myself, or, what am I missing here? What's feeding into this? What's the recipe that's causing this? And which bits of it can I try and sort out so that I can kind of turn this feeling down a bit? And the rest of it is just about loving yourself enough to sit with it. But yeah, how does patience or impatience show up with your neurodivergence, show up at this stage in your life when maybe you've had to show a lot of patience? I certainly have. When you're caring for kids and things, absolutely, patience, it looks like putting yourself second. Maybe there's stuff you want to do, things that you need, but you need to put those off because obviously kids' needs have to be met sooner. They just literally don't have the ability to kind of go, oh, I'm just going to wait and sit quietly while mummy puts her feet up and has a cup of tea for 10 minutes. It just don't work like that. So yeah, kind of where in your life are you finding now that impatience? And what do you think might be causing that? And what are your thoughts on how you'd like to look at that going forward? But as you explore that, just remember to be really kind to yourself, because, of course, you are a queen, you are a zebra, and you do your own thing in your own way, and that is awesome.